What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and have a look at this. JP just revealed the official Halloween Sugo Fest. I feel like it's a little bit early for Halloween, but hey, they're doing it now. We've got the brand new Sugo Fest exclusives coming to the game, and as you can see, it's a brand new Trafalgar lore and a brand new V3 Mihawk, and this is technically what, V4 Trafalgar lore. It's super weird, right? Because like we literally had the One Piece Day V3 lore drop late July. It was literally like the final week of July, and we're already getting another copy of lore as a legend or a Sugo Fest exclusive, however you want to say it. That's super odd to me. I don't understand why they went with lore as the choice. There is a theming behind it. This whole Sugo Fest is relating to like the warlords of the sea in like their Halloween forms, basically, because along with these two legends, they're also debuting a brand new Buggy and Boa Hancock as the rare recruits. We'll talk more about it as well, but it does also have some implications as to potential free-to-play units that could be coming. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This particular Sugo Fest on JP is literally debuting tomorrow, because currently it's the 24th in Japan. Tomorrow at news time, they're going to be debuting this Sugo Fest, and it goes for actually a relatively long time. That's pretty surprising. But let's have a look. It's a 2 times legend rate. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty stock standard at this point for debut batches. You've got a guaranteed rated up unit. Multi-4 is a guaranteed new batch character with lore, Mihawk, Buggy, or Boa Hancock. All guaranteed. One of those 4 guaranteed on multi-4. So if you do get a red, it's guaranteed to be one of the new characters, which is very good. Multi-6 curated pool. Guaranteed legend from a pool. So you got the 2 new characters, Germa 66, Hawkins, Katakuri V3, and Luffy and Zoro. That's a very odd array of characters, in my opinion. Basil Hawkins being there doesn't make a lot of sense. Germa, it's good that they're there, but again, doesn't make sense. Katakuri V3 actually does make sense because both of these characters are int super types. So for Katakuri, he's got new friends to play with now, which is great. And then Luffy and Zoro also doesn't really make a lot of sense, but either way, it is what it is. And then also guaranteed on multi-30, part 2 for the new lore, or part 3 for the Mihawk. Just preemptively speaking, without, like, I've already read what the abilities do, but preemptively speaking, Mihawk is the better of the 2, in my opinion, but I guess we'll leave that up for your guys' opinions. Let's go ahead over to the new unit information and break them down. So this is the lore effect. Shout out to Godot for some translations, and I think Blazing Gamer might have provided some more translations as well, so shout out to those guys. But the special ability of the brand new lore will boost int characters' slot effects by 2.25 for 1 turn, and then after 1 turn, boosts int orbs by 2.5 times, and then applies resilience for 1 turn. Okay, so let's break this down. First of all, 2.25 orbs for int. That's a good special. That is a very good special. But then after 1 turn, so this is not like hit a certain amount of perfects and then get a boost in the following turn. This is very similar to Kizuna Moria, right? Or the brand new upcoming super type Sabo whenever he releases. Where when you activate the special, there's like a clock countdown, and then when that clock countdown reaches 0, a new buff is applied. So this is saying, you know, after 1 turn, you're going to be getting a 2.5 times orb boost instead. And then for some reason applies resilience. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you just read the special out of context, but once you read everything else, it does make a lot of sense. Now, as we mentioned, he is a super type character. Now, in order to fulfill the super type condition, you need to have one of the following characters. So, Luffy, Mihawk, Crocodile, Dofi, Kuma, Moria, Hancock, Jinbei, Blackbeard, Buggy, or Weevil. So it's legitimately like all of the warlords and then Luffy, basically. So, very interesting, but this also can mean that, you know, we already know that Buggy and Boa Hancock are going to be rare recruits, so maybe we're going to get a new Weevil character, because currently the only Weevil in the game is the treasure map unit, and I think Weevil deserves more representation in the game, so that would be good to see. But potentially new Jinbei and Blackbeard. I mean, Jinbei just got a treasure map unit, so I don't know about that. Could be new Moria, potentially. I mean, I would have preferred to see the legend be Moria or Kuma, honestly. Would have much preferred it be these two, rather than another legend lore, which we just had like a few months back. It's so weird, man. Either way, once you fulfill the condition, you can launch the super type, which will state it just recovers 50% of your max HP, and then int characters become super int. It's a very plain super type special, and again, once we go through everything, it makes sense in terms of his kit, but reading this out of context, you might think that's a little weird, and it is. But the fact is, this is a health recovery from a super type special that you can launch at any point. So if you are using him as a captain, you can just get a free 50% heal, right? Which is very good. And the other thing about it is this cannot be interrupted as well. So you can just heal whenever you want, which is pretty good, right? I don't know how well this is going to be used as a captain, really, because remember, you can only use super type if the unit is the captain. But let's go through that captain effect. So it will go ahead and boost int character's attack by 4.25, and then int character's HP by 1.4. So lots of health is always good, especially when you have such a huge recovery with that. And then it says, for every perfect that you hit, int character's attack will increase up to 5 times max. So I believe it would be very similar to super type Smoker, where it's like every time you hit a perfect, it will increment slowly. And then after every consecutive perfect, it's like, it might go to 4.25 and then 4.35 or whatever it is. And it'll just keep incrementing up. And then your final character will hit for 5 times. That's what I believe it is. That's the way that it's worded. And then it also deals 100 times the damage that you take from the enemy at the end of the turn. And also reduces despair by 10 turns. So I love the inbuilt utility mechanic, massive fan of those. But this is very interesting. Deal 100 times the damage taken from the enemy at the end of the turn, right? So this means that hypothetically, if you take 5,000 damage from an enemy, you deal 100 times of that back. You deal 500,000 damage back to the enemy. Now, I believe this will be AoE damage, but if it's not, it might just be, you know, whichever enemy attacked you, they get hit with the damage instead. I would personally prefer that because, remember, like, with a captain effect like this, it is a good captain effect, but the problem is if you need to stall for anything, that's going to be very difficult to do because, you know, anytime they hit you, you're just reflecting damage back. But remember, in terms of the context of the character, you can deal damage back, you can heal, and you have resilience. So you can literally apply his special, have resilience for 1 turn, take a huge hit, and then reflect all that damage back. It's a pretty cool effect, but again, I don't know how effective in practice this is really going to be. He also has very good PvP abilities. He honestly might be one of the best PvP characters in the game because his special, which I believe was confirmed to be a 25-second countdown timer, which is very low, honestly. It's a 100% chance to special bind all enemies for 8 seconds, and then deals 1.5 times attack in enemies in a medium sideways range. Yeah, there it is right there, 25 seconds. So, guaranteed on all characters. I mean, there are some characters that resist special bind, but still, this is fantastic, on top of dealing a pretty good amount of damage too. And then his passive is level 8 speed up, which is insane, and then all enemies get defense down level 1. Like, this character is so good. In PvP specifically. In generic play, I don't know how effective he's going to be, but on paper, he looks pretty good. Now, for Mihawk, I do think Mihawk is the best of the 2 characters. I think Law's better in PvP, but I think Mihawk is better in generic play. So, Mihawk's special is going to reduce one enemy's health by 15%. It reduces all enemies' damage reduction by 10 turns. So that's Rainbow Shield, mind you, by 10 turns. And then boost int character's attack by 2.25 for 1 turn, and after 3 perfect hits, 2.25 times attack for int. Woo, this is good. And remember, because Law is the clock buff, where you get the boost just after the clock reaches 0, and then Mihawk is a perfect buff, and you get, you know, the buff in the following turn, you can stack both of these abilities. So in 1 turn, you can get 2.25 attack and 2.25 orbs for int, and then in the following turn, 2.5 orbs, 2.25 attack. Now, 2.5 attack, right? So you can stack these characters together and get some really cool effects. Now, as for the super type for Mihawk, who is also an int character for super type, he will need, once again, the same sort of characters, all the warlords, and then plus Zor as well. So either of those characters on your team, and then his super type special changes all orbs into matching. It doesn't get rid of block orbs though, so that's the only downside there, but all other orbs are changed into matching, and for 1 turn, adds 1,000 times his attack in non-type damage as tap timing bonus, and then changes all int into super int. Right, so the thing about this is, it doesn't say it specifically, but I believe this is only going to be for himself. If this was for all characters, this is one of the most broken effects in the game. It has to be for himself, right? Hypothetically, if he's got 2,000 attack, he's probably going to have more than that, especially after expansion. And you're timing that by 1,000, 2 million damage at least 2 million damage with tap timing bonus. Remember, normal attacks only does mitigate that, but if there's no normal attacks only, you're just getting 2 million damage extra for free. Like, that's insane. And you get a full board of matching orbs. And remember, this cannot be interrupted. Like, this is pretty bonkers, man. I like this a lot. He's his crew's own attack booster for multiple turns, and if you're running double Mihawk, you get 2 turns of matching orbs and 2 turns of a 1 hit that's at least 2 million damage. It's pretty insane. Now, as for his captain effect, reduces all cooldowns by 1, that's a good start. Boost int character's attack by 4 times and 1.3 health. Until you miss perfect, boost int character's attack by 5 times instead, like V1 Dofi. Okay, that's very interesting. And then reduces paralysis by 10 turns. So he's got inbuilt utility where he just reduces 10 turns of paralysis. Okay, I did not know it was like this. So his captain effect is a little hit or miss because it's like V1 Dofi, right? For those of you who don't know how that worked, essentially back in the day, it was like boost driven character's attack by 3 times until you miss a perfect. So what that means is you know, it'll be constantly, you know, 5 times attack. However, if you hit a good, a great, or a miss, whatever it may be, your attack boost goes down to 4 times for that turn. So if the enemy has a barrier that requires you to hit a good or a great, it means you literally can't get your 5 times attack boost. So that's a pretty big downer, actually. That really does suck. But at the end of the day, you can kind of mitigate that with this huge boost with this. And his special is still really godly. Plus -1 cooldown. Like, this character is still really good. I like this character a lot, and it really comes down to his batch and how this team works together. But on paper, I do personally prefer Mihawk over the Law, but you can't disregard what Law's doing here. He's very, very good. Now, as for the PvP effects real quick, he'll go ahead and boost his own attack by level 5 for 10 seconds, and then deal 3 times his attack in large range damage. That's a high cooldown, but if he's able to launch this off, like, he just will do so much damage. And then his passive, each time he gets a crit, inflicts all enemies with defense down level 2 up to 4 times. That is a broken passive. If you're able to get multiple crits, the enemies just have no defense. Like, that's pretty good. Okay, support was added, I just noticed that, to Zoro. Once prevention when they use this damage dealing or health cutting special, reduces % damage reduction by 3. That's good. That's a good support effect. And then does Law have his? Okay, it's not listed here yet, but either way, I'm liking this, man. I'm liking this a lot. Oh, we got the actual special here of the brand new Mihawk. Let's go ahead and peep him out real quick. Okay, come on, let the video play. Okay, there he goes, and the artwork looks so good as well. So it doesn't look like he's just going to jump and slash, basically. That's what I assume. I like that the bats are all surrounding him too. And who else is on the team? There's a new crocodile. There's a new crocodile there as well. Oh, we got Trafalgar Lawset as the captain. There you go. Wow, dude, this looks so cool. I like the artworks for the characters. They look so, so sick. The attack boost hit the perfect. He removed the damage reduction effect. Yeah. 10 turns of Rainbow Shield removal is just insane. I'm not going to sit here and wait until the Trafalgar Law one launches, but that's the rundown of all the new characters. Let me know down below in the comment section which one of the 2 new characters are your favorite. I like the Mihawk a little bit more, but V4 Law, should I say, is also a very interesting character. So that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.